Okay, we're doing it. We're just gonna do it because this is it. We're making it happen. It's happening. This is a De'Longhi Stilosa. It is very cheap. I modified it and I cut the bottom off and I filed out the inside so it could fit an IMS basket. Which used to have a curved lip on it to support, regular portafilters, which this is not, it's just flat. So I pinched it down with pliers and tapped it flat with a hammer. And then I trimmed it off to be the proper diameter. Okay, all just manually. And so before doing all this modification, I did measurements to make sure it would fit, and lo and behold, measurements worked in theory and in practice, which was great. So I was able to use some fairly regular use things that are used for, say, Breville machines, the 54 mil Breville machines. Going down the whole journey, I've needed to, verify results, right? I haven't done this in, a week. Tested this. Can we see that? We can see that one. Okay, so this is a XMT 7100 PID machine. It's basically the same thing that you would get in a kit from companies that sell stuff for Gadget Classic Pros and Ranchilio sulfates. It's basically the same thing, except you kind of need to program it yourself as far as how the algorithm controls the temperature, right? Controls the heating element. That was a bigger learning curve than anything else. Anyways, let's just do it. Let's just take a look. Let's see if I can get a little closer. So I've got this set at 95 degrees. It has an offset of 4 degrees. It seems to be accurate based on this, but we'll find out if that is any different. This has kind of been settled in for the last, 2 weeks maybe, as far as seeming. I'm happy with how I've got it programmed as stability-wise goes. Oh, I hate filming things. Yeah, that's not better. Anyway, whatever. So I'm just going to try and adjust the flow to 2 grams a second, 3 grams a second, Yeah, so let's just see. Just because I've got the pressurized basket in there. It's probably a little slower, Really, I'm just looking to see if these numbers match more than anything. I guess you guys can't see the flow, but we'll weigh how much afterwards, and then I can time it, and we'll know what we did. But you can see even here it says 91, and on that thermostat it's 94, so. I mean, this isn't replicant of espresso shot, but here, I'll show you what else happens. Watch. Now let's see what the PID says when I turn it back on. 97, right? And I think we were at 98 there before. So what happens is, while it's calculating and operating, the readout isn't quite as accurate as what it's doing inside, maybe. And the readout's not accurate of what it's doing. So right now it's 96, 97 in there, right? And you know, the water coming out was 91, but no, like, we'll see now. I had to cut there. My camera can only record 10 minutes at a time. Right? Okay. Okay, so that's the well, here, we'll weigh the 217.3. Okay, so I'll kind of disassemble it a bit. Okay. Number one, I just got this lid that I designed, and I got it printed by somebody locally. I had a little handle on top, but it was too tall. But there's the lid. I'll put it on Thingiverse. I'll put a link so you can get it printed yourself. And it just fits right in there, just like that. Okay? And that'll stop all the condensation that happens inside of your machine, which I think is a terrible issue. So there's that. Obviously I've got this gauge. I have a no-touch or a free touch steam wand. I kind of had to get it special ordered through a company in my country. It's not a regular stock item, but something about De'Longhi machines, if you go onto the website for the parts, is that you can get a lot of these parts at a fairly reasonable price replaced. One of the most expensive things is the portafilter, to be honest. It's $80 US or something. Like this machine is tiny, right? I don't know. Anyway, it's like one finger wide, okay? Like it's one finger wide, all right? Anyways, I have a dimmer switch installed in here, and I have the PID installed in here, and it's like just inside of this little machine, dude. Here, we can go like this. This I cut off, right? I did another video about this, and it's just on here with this super kind of like dry silicone, but it's very tough, and I just let it stay on and warm up for about an hour, and I slowly pried it up and worked it out with this palette knife, and I just worked my way around. That was it, and it came right off. And I'm gonna secure it back down pretty soon because I'm almost done modifying it. I'm getting there. I have I'm gonna install the gadget. I just got the parts from the same person that printed it to me. This is the little screen, so I haven't decided where I'm gonna put it yet. I think kind of right here is the best, or I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, and that's just going to control my pressure, and then I won't have to have this out here. I won't need this pressure gauge anymore. This just comes off. Okay, well, my battery died, and then my phone got full. Where should I start? I ordered a piece of this line. 27 centimeter long line that comes with the proper fitting for this end. Um, well, good afternoon. Sheesh. 27 centimeter long line. I had a local company that sells fittings. A guy there set me up with this stuff. This is just a quick connect, actually. I can just pull that little green bit downwards and I can pull that line right out. It's just a straight connect line. And yeah, works great. This is how that steam wand is connected. I had to do a couple modifications that are kind of jank and just, custom to get the steam wand to position itself how I needed to. One was drilling out a little hole, another one was just making a plastic shim out of a piece of plastic lid from a Ziploc container that I no longer have. Other than that, it fits and works perfectly fine. I could have done this slightly better. This zip tie is kind of just there for show, to be honest. But it's also glued on with JB Weld Marine Weld. Yeah, and it, like, at the end of the day, this holds 2-3 bar pressure. Like it'll never hit 3 bar pressure, and yeah, I have had no problems with it. This looks bad, but it's not, I promise. It just doesn't look nice. Yeah, it just doesn't look nice. Okay, there you go. Shame me all you want, but it's on there. It's very, very well secured. Okay, so this just plumbs in. Normally this line would have just plumbed right into here. That was it, but now I have it running through the pressure gauge into there. I have installed a coin in behind it, in between it and the boiler block. Okay. This gets me about 10 or 15 degrees more Celsius. And just prolongs how much time the element stays on during steaming. So I get unreal amounts of steaming pressure, literally 3 times faster than it was prior. And hits about 135 C now, as opposed to 125, which is what this thermostat hits. What the PID is, it's just replacing the boiler brew temperature thermostat, right? So before it went through the steam thermostat into the what I have removed because it just doesn't need to be there, the brew thermostat, and then back into the circuit. But now it just goes, from the element to the steam thermostat, through the PID, and then back into the circuit, right? So when I turn it to brew mode, I'm on brew temperature, which is controlled by the PID, and the brew light, shows such. And when I'm on steam mode, it just runs through that steam thermostat like it should. And yeah, I've thought about modifying the spring in here so that it releases at a proper temperature, but at the end of the day, I don't care because I'm going to have that controlled automatically anyways. It'll never hit any pressure that I don't want it to. And I'll show you, I have it controlled with a dimmer switch now anyways, and I'm monitoring my pressure. So I kind of don't have any purpose for modifying any pressure relief valve. Yeah, so I've also installed a 3-prong plug because it comes with a 2-prong plug, so it now has a ground. Even though this looks like it's some kind of chrome, it actually is it does have continuity. I've tested continuity just from that screw head to here, and there's continuity. Yeah, so I'll take the bottom off, and I'll show you a small trick for dealing with safety screws. Okay, so safety screws. It's a Torx, but it has that little bit in the center there. So you can't just push a Torx on. Sometimes you can just push the proper Torx onto it. But one thing that I do is I just take a small flathead screwdriver. Oh my goodness. And I just fit it in beside. Right? Just like that. And it comes out super easily, because I mean, at the end of the day, these aren't in with very much, force, right? So you can, like I said, sometimes you can if you push really hard with the proper size Torx, you can sometimes just fit it in there. Okay, so there's 2 little tabs that you have to pull the chassis away from the tabs that are in this. I should have just ripped these tabs off so I don't have to do this. I didn't think of that before. So I've done this a couple times now, and it's not these things aren't meant to be taken apart, right? So sometimes I just lift up on this, just wedge away, and then I lift up on the power cable. Right. And then this isn't wedged in or anything. It's just tight. And be careful, this is actually sharp. I cut myself. The plastic's actually very sharp, believe it or not. Okay, so I jammed this foam in and around there because it helps dampen the noise. So yeah, this is the PID. It's installed here. The dimmer switch is here. This is just the guts. I just took out the parts out of the inside of a dimmer switch that you would install in a wall mount. And I have the solid state relay here, and I put liquid electrical tape over top of the contacts. I just have like a small piece of electrical tape here holding this up so that it sits upright, because it needed to allow for this to fit in between the solid state relay and the chassis there. Otherwise, I just wanted to tilt in, and it didn't fit very cleanly. So yeah, that's it. You can put all of this stuff inside of this tiny little machine. So what is espresso, right? What is coffee? Coffee and an espresso machine, you need to be able to control the temperature, and you need to be able to control the pressure, and you need to be able to use see what I mean? Crazy glue sucks. Crazy glue is not good. Yeah, so you need to be able to control temperature and pressure, and you also need to be able to have a fine enough grind and you need to be able to push water that is controlled in temperature and pressure through that properly ground coffee, so that you can have a good extraction, right? And so yeah, just that's it. What is coffee? What is an espresso machine? And how do we achieve the results we're looking for at the end of the day? So, you know, all in, including the IMS basket. Let me see if you can. You'll see it on another clip I've done here too. But you know, that's an IMS screen. It's a 48 millimeter IMS screen that just went on there and replaced the original. You know, so time and money. Let's just talk money. I mean, this was $130 Canadian when I bought it on sale at Canadian Tire, and I've probably spent 400 more Canadian all in, because I put a Ranchilio Silva steam wand on it before realizing that I wanted to have a Cool Touch steam wand. So, you know, so let's try and add it up. Let's add it up. Where am I at? Okay, so basket, I think that was 30 something dollars Canadian. This was like 15 Canadian or something ridiculous. Doing this was free, 25 Canadian. Doing this was like 50 Canadian. Steam wand, Ranchilio Silva steam wand was 20 Canadian. This one was 40 Canadian, this Cool Touch one. Where are we at here? This was $20 Canadian. All the fittings and the extra hose, I'm gonna say the fittings and everything were 26, I think, dollars. The extra hose was, I think, $14. The coin for this thermostat is 5 cents Canadian. Where am I at? This was free. Random fittings, electrical stuff, let's say $4. The PID was $35. The solid state relay was $4. 3D printed lid, 4 hours of my time learning software, and literally $4. This guy printed this for me. The Arduino parts, all in, including getting the parts printed, are just under 100 Canadian. Proper tamper, $50. I mean, I had another one. You could use whatever. WDD tool from a Canadian maker on Etsy. I think that was $25, I think. Salt inside of the holder, 3 cents. Try that, by the way. Papers. Yes. I guess that's not part of the machine. Anyways, you can see I put a lot of money into this machine, and quite frankly, I would make an espresso for anybody that's super pretentious with this machine, and feed it to them, and I really don't think that they would have a problem with it. So yeah, bye. What's a coffee machine?